All right, guys, let's try something a little bit different than what I did before. On Flickr beforehand, I just actually took a picture and drew kind of a schematic of where the lighting is. Uh, why not? Let's go ahead and just actually just talk about a whole series. Talk about the lighting, setup, and everything else. Hopefully, this helps a few of you guys. Got a lot of great comments from people saying that the diagram, lighting diagram that I put up beforehand was pretty helpful. So hopefully, this will be just as helpful for people. So the set we're going to talk about is the Red Room set, or the Opium Den, from 2 years ago. The idea was actually it was from a friend of mine, Holly, who really wanted to do a set inspired by the old opium dens. So she just bought a bunch of props, and growing up on Asian films, I've seen opium dens in the past, and and various other um, Hollywood portrayals of it. So essentially, we just got a bunch of curtains and a bunch of frivolous frou-frou things, and I built it. There was no blueprint on what we were gonna do. The general idea was I kind of wanted sort of a Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan type room with hanging draperies and furniture. The thing about the scene though is it's a great framing element for your subject, and it also allows you to really really hide your lights that you're going to use, but also really control them well. Here's a couple sample shots from it. What you'll notice is these two shots over here don't actually have red in the background, while the other shots have red. I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit of that there. But yeah, the den was up for a couple of months. I had several models there. And so these are just a couple extras right there. Let me see here. Actually, I think those are the examples, but there was several other models who made it out there. So let's talk a little bit about the lighting for it. First of all, you see here. Let me move a few of these away. What you'll notice immediately about the Opium Den shoot is that it actually has several light sources. The main light source on the model tends to be very large and soft. Let's give a big, a couple of lessons here to people. There's two things that matter in photography, or when it comes to lighting, two things that are very paramount. Size of light source. The bigger your light source, the softer your shadows. And so by looking at the shadows on the model here, on Shauna here, you'll notice that the transition from the shadow to the highlights is very smooth, which means you're going to have a larger light source. Anyone who doesn't know about lighting, always look for that. Give another example. Let's see here on this picture of Victoria. If you look at the definition of the shadows over here, it's a more defined line. So that tells you that the light source is smaller. All right. So the other thing too is the other major thing is directionality of light. On the opposite side of where light hits is a shadow. Always remember that. And so where you put your lights in a scene like this matter, because if I put my light too low and too close to the camera, we're going to project a shadow on the background. So by looking at this, the lights are a little bit higher than your subject, and you'll notice the shadows being casted, around the subject's neck and so forth. All right, so let's go talk a little bit about the lighting here. I'm trying to limit this video to 5 minutes because this is the first one. I'm going to try it out. All right, so lighting wise, the backdrop, we drew a frame. Here's your backdrop, or here's your pedestal that they were on. Here's curtains. All right, so we're going to do curtains as red. All right, so with the lighting, I had one light back here and it projected red. The main thing with it though is it had a grid on it, and a grid, if no one knows, it's like a water bottle. Actually, no, I'll take that analogy away. Here's your normal light spray right here. It goes out, goes in like that. A grid, when you put it on, confines it, so it's just a beam rather than a larger swath of light. So by using a grid, we're able to control that light so it doesn't spill onto your subject or onto anything more than what you want. You'll really notice the effects of the grid. Let me go ahead and here. The gridded light on that one picture of Shauna earlier. Let me see if I can find it, and I've lost it already. My bad. Let's see here. Well, there's this one. If you guys notice in the background here, right there, that there is a right behind Shauna, there is a circle of light. That's a gridded light right there. So it's actually kind of cool. I didn't know you can really mark on these pictures. Anyways, going further ahead, let me see here. A larger light source, when I was able to move the subject away from the backdrop, they actually moved in closer to the light source, and I was able to position the light source above them. But as they got further into the platform, it actually was better to go ahead and put the light source a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, to go ahead and so control that shadow that didn't fall. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and try that. That's only about 6 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to Flickr. Tell me if this is kind of something that you guys like, and this is something you want me to do in the future. I'm going to go, tell me which sets you would like it on, stuff like that. All right, talk to you guys then.